I mean, what do you just see in the South Carolina defense?
I think that we had a little bit of a beat on some things, and then you look at last week against Vanderbilt, they really had a shift on defense in terms of playing a very different structure than what they had been playing. They had been a 4-down, cover 4, 3 deep, with mixed in with some man coverage. And then last week against Vanderbilt, they sort of shifted to almost a little bit of a Mississippi State vibe, where they had 3 high safeties, 3 down linemen, played a little bit more coverage, which I think caught Vanderbilt by surprise a little bit. I don't think they were quite ready for that, which I completely understand. And so that's something that we've had to prepare for. They fly around to the football. Their linebacker, number 0, is a really good player. The corner, number 6, is a good player. They've done a nice job rushing the passer at times. And, this is, again, it's more about us getting this thing right and getting an opportunity to go down and compete on a huge stage. I mean, it's going to be a great atmosphere and opportunity, but you could see the confidence in their defense last week shift in a game that they really shut out the opponent.
Have you had 3 different drives that get into Alabama territory that don't end in points?
Yeah.
And if the field goal kicker isn't used a lot this year, so is there anything with those kind of opportunities, as you kind of worded, where you can try to take more advantage of it?
Yeah, I mean, I think we had a 4th down call that we all felt comfortable with, on the 4th down situation that, we ended up getting a stick route open, and we just a little bit late on the throw. And yeah, I'd love to have somebody wide open, but I'm not sure that's going to happen too often against Alabama, right? And so when you have those opportunities early on, we have to take advantage of them. And unfortunately, we just didn't, whether it was execution, making a play calling, whatever you want to put together, it was execution at the end of the day as a unit. And those were the circumstances that probably led to us it getting out of hand, right? In terms of those opportunities before the half in the second quarter, where we could have gone down and at least gotten points out of those drives. Well, then you come out in the second half and you drive down and have a good drive and go down, go 28-14. They go down, score, and now you're really playing catch up for the rest of the game. So definitely some missed opportunities for us as a unit that were disappointing.
How unusual is it, the situation you were describing with South Carolina making a change this late, and how does that kind of present a challenge for a play caller after you've put in so much time thinking?
Yeah, it's a little annoying. It is. It's just, and I'm sure that's part of the goal, right, is to, obviously be better on their side of the ball and create some different mismatches and coverages and leverages and maybe get different guys on the field for them. But for us, obviously, now you don't truly know what to prepare for. I think we have an idea of, probably get a mix of a lot of those different things. But, it's just something we had to prepare for that we weren't looking forward to preparing for, I guess you could say. It's just something else that we have to be ready for, that our players have to be aware of, and us as a staff have to have a plan for. But I think you see a team trying to figure it out, right? They've competed their tails off. Maybe early on we're trying to do some things and figure it out, and then you go and make a change like that and tweak some things. I think it's a credit to coaching, really, and trying to put your players in a position to be successful.
Coach, they went out, they get a bowl game. You guys got a chance to finish 8-4. You're closing out the season on the road. What's the energy been like in practice?
It was great tonight. I thought we had a great night of practice. The guys were juiced up. I think they understand the circumstances of this game. I think they understand that this is going to be a hostile environment. I think that Columbia's going to be rocking. I think it's going to be a great atmosphere, and we need to go and get this one. I mean, this one's a big one for us, and we're very understanding of the circumstances, I believe, right now. I think our players are pretty locked in. Again, we had a really nice night tonight and great weather, so I think the guys will be locked in and ready to go. Something about being on the road, it is nice to go out and we're all we got. There's no distractions, and it's something about that. It brings teams together.
This is part of the year too, where not only it's the coaching on the field, but the off the field stuff. As you get into the roster building phase, what areas of the offense are you really going to have to prioritize over the next month?
It's a good question. I think that we'll naturally have attrition, I would say, after the season. I'm not quite sure exactly what we'll be looking for to say right now. I know obviously you graduate some key pieces up front on the offensive line. You graduate a running back that's one of the best running backs in the SEC, and your quarterback leaves. So we have to evaluate all positions at the end of the day, and I'm sure we'll talk about those things as a staff, but we really have been so focused and locked in on trying to get a W, right? I mean, this is all we've really been looking at, of trying to go down to this environment and go get a win, because at the end of the day, it's really all that matters. Is winning cures a lot of things, right? And it helps keep kids in the building, and it also attracts guys when we do have to go to the transfer portal.
This team got a win here at Kroger Field last year. Is that something you remind the guys of at all?
I think they have a pretty good understanding of the taste that they may have in their mouth about what occurred last year at home. We went down there 2 years ago and had a great game. We ended up turning it over about 5 or 6 times and snuck out with a win, but our kids played hard. They played really hard when we went down there, and I think they're excited for this opportunity, knowing that South Carolina is going to be pretty, gassed up to go get a win, and understanding what they're playing for and what we're playing for is, being better in the SEC rankings, right? That's what we're playing for. We're playing for more wins and to go jump the rankings in the SEC. That's what we're really trying to focus on. So, and being 500 in the SEC is, not a slouch.
Can you speak to how Dane's improved his fundamentals over the season, especially during this tougher stretch?
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. That's something that it's been really cool to see him. Really going back to Georgia. The week going into the Georgia week, he started to really become a different dude. And I don't think a different dude, that's not right to say, but more so just the focus, the concentration, the work ethic, the things that he was trying to detail. It's really paid off. It's paid off in a big way. Had another really good catch tonight when we did our good on good period against our defense. He's a great kid, obviously comes from pedigree. He's got a great family, and all those things add up. They add up to the type of kid that he is, the competitor that he is, and he's winning one-on-ones right now. I mean, he's doing a great job getting open, catching the football contestedly, contested catches. Been really proud of Dane.
Mark got a call on his show last night asking about the middle of the field and short stuff. Seems like Devin is apt to throw the deep sidelines. And those kind of, is there something there with his size or vision? He's had some knocked down at times.
We had some issues in protection last week where there was a good amount of push at times. He could have done a better job of finding some windows there. Even on the long pass to Bates that we completed, it ended up getting tipped. That's just a technique that he needs to do a better job of finding that window. And he has success throwing the ball down the field is what he's done in his past. And sometimes you go back to that as a quarterback, where you're just like, hey, I know where I can get the ball out and see that thing. So he's done a great job in a lot of different ways for us. And we just need to get him back on track. We were starting to trend in the right direction. Those tip balls were something that we hadn't seen in a while. It was something that he is frustrated about, because he made a conscious effort of that over the course of the last few weeks for that to not occur. He was taking pride in that to not occur. And, so he was a little bit frustrated that did occur this past week. And it was a combination of some pressure while also him being able to find some arm angles and different things to be able to make those throws.
You wouldn't be the first offense to be thrown off track by Alabama.
And that was, I think they're playing at a little bit of a different level right now than they might have been a couple weeks ago. That team is, that defense really is extremely well coached, very disciplined, detailed, and they play their tails off.
Tell us about your shirt choice.
Went in the closet. It was either out of Dev, Dane, or Barryon. And I think Dane's been playing pretty good, so I decided to wear Dane today. Looks good, though. Looks good. Looks good.
Nice shirt.
Thank you.
South Carolina is they've been scoring a lot of points at home. Is there an added sense of urgency knowing that in order to win this game, the offense might have to really put up some numbers against this team?
I think, just going into any environment, it's going to be difficult to try to go out there and put up numbers. we know they're going to come there with their fan base and just be electric and be loud and just trying to be dominant and trying to win within that atmosphere of trying to win the game. I think for us, it's just staying poised and just understanding we got to control what we can control. We can't control what the atmosphere is going to be like. We can't control the crowd noise. You really can't control anything besides what we do on the field and how we go out there and execute our plays, whatever Coach Coen calls. So, if we try to go shot for shot with them, I don't think anybody should go shot for shot. I think you got to play your game and be strategic in the way you go about stuff. So, we know what they're going to do, and we got to be able to do what we can do and try to keep it a close game, or if not, come away with the W.
That atmosphere, they got the sandstorm, they got the chicken crowing. Either one of them more annoying than the other?
Luckily, I didn't get to play in South Carolina 2021, but I sat on my couch when I was injured, and I heard the rooster sound the entire time from my TV. So it's pretty annoying. We had it out here today, just to kind of simulate that. So if you can just try to, get rid of that noise and just focus on the game, I think it was zoned out probably by like quarter two for me, probably quarter one.
Is there something about going on the road that helps you guys lock in and focus a little more?
Yeah, you get to ruin somebody's Saturday. You get to ruin someone's Saturday night. The fans get to go and they're watching 3 hours of football, and then you get a Kentucky win, and now they're driving home pretty sad. So just going to a place where you can ruin someone's Saturday and come away with a tough victory. And you saw that against Mississippi State. I think we took the crowd out of it within the first quarter. So once you take the crowd out of the game, then it just feels like a home game to you, because now the fans are no longer cheering for them and cheering for us.
The run game's been pretty tough lately, but there's been a couple of sparks, like Ramon's 74-yard run. Can you just, speak to how that carries into this week's game?
Moan's coming up next, but I just want to let y'all know he was moving. He was moving, man. Moan, that was definitely big, and I think it's good to see things like that. It's good to see the guys step up, and it's always a next man mentality. And for Moan to go out and do that, he provided a spark for our offense to get in the end zone. I really wanted him to finish it and have that touchdown, so that touchdown really goes to him. I wish I could take it off my stat sheet, but just to be able to for guys to come in and just still bring that juice and that fresh legs, no matter the score. I think it shows to us that guys are still fighting, and no matter the outcome, they're going to keep going and keep clawing until the last whistle's blown. And to have him and Kai to come in and just anybody, I think AB stepped up big this year and had some key clutch catches and his touchdowns. So just to have those moments of those guys coming in and just playing into the end.
Ray, what are you seeing from the Gamecock defense? They have a mixture of young guys and then a good amount of veterans on that side of the football. For
sure. I think, it starts with their linebackers. They got two good linebackers who are very lateral in their movement and very electrifying and just always have a high motor. So, kind of understanding where they are on the field and trying to neutralize them and try to find the weaknesses in their games, which is just not many, but, you could find some stuff in there. And their secondary is pretty strong. I think they got some guys. I know they had a freshman All-American with number 21, and, just all around their secondary is pretty stout and pretty physical. I got a chance to play against them last year, and I kind of know what they're going to bring. I have a feeling they're going to try to stop the run. So our best bet is, to try to get the pass game going and then try to wear them down with the run later on, or vice versa, try to wear them down with the run, then go pass. So we know what they're game planning for, and we got to be able to go out there and execute our game.
To expand on something you said earlier, Liam told us that you guys kind of like this situation where you go on the road and it's us against everybody, us against the world. Is there kind of a mindset there that serves this particular team better?
For sure. I mean, every day is Kentucky versus the world. It's Kentucky versus everybody. It's the city of Lexington versus everybody. So, you step onto a field, and anybody that's trying to step in our way of where we're trying to reach and where we're trying to build and establish on, you got to have that mindset. You got to have that mindset that is us against everybody. If you're not with Kentucky, if you're not with Lexington, then who are you with? Because you're not with us. That you got to have that mindset going in on the road games like that. And even when we're here and we're in this stadium, when we were in this stadium going against other opponents, like it was us versus the world.
You and Kenneth were the last two on the field. Could you just talk about that moment that you all had?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Kendall's been here for about 20 years. So, I've been here for about 6 months. So I really just wanted him to know that, he wasn't, he had some support coming off the field. And I understand it was his last time being on Kroger Field, but to know that there was a guy there when he turned around and he didn't feel he was alone and that I was going to be there for him no matter what. And like I told him, I was like, don't let the camera see you cry. Don't let nobody see you when you're down, because you gave it everything that you gave for 6 years. You did everything you could on this field. You accomplished some really good things, and you had some losses. So just understand that just because what you're doing on this field is coming to an end, but your career is still ahead of you. And I wanted him to know that there's still a lot of game left for him, and we got 3 more games, and why not go out with a bang and go 3-0 and make all the fans here in Kroger and Lexington happy and go get that ball game win.
Neither one of these teams have accomplished quite what it had set out to do when the season started, but there's a lot on the line for these last 2. Do you kind of anticipate it being pretty intense on both sides?
For us in South Carolina and Louisville, you say?
Well, just you in South Carolina for this week.
Us in South Carolina next week. I mean, you got to go in there and treat it like it's a normal game. I think if you try to make the game bigger than what it is, and people try to do more than what they need to do. So I think our mantra in here is to go out there and play our game, and just treat this like this is just, what is this, week 11? It's week 11 to us. This isn't nothing bigger than it is, and we need to go out there and play our game and do what we can do and control what we can control. And again, once you start thinking bigger picture, I think that's where people start to try to do more than they need to do. Perfect.
All right, folks, thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Rick.
One last thing to say. Shout out Slacks for outfit. Looks pretty good today.
Well, tell us what you've seen from South Carolina defense on film.
They move a lot. They're really explosive, and they can make plays. We just got to be able to hone into our details, focus on us, and we should be able to run the ball.
Do you guys kind of have that road warrior mentality, like you can lock in, no distractions?
Yeah, we try to at least have fun too with it. Coming to the end of the season, everybody just playing for something, and we just playing hard and trying to have fun with our stuff. So just trying to have fun on these road games and get into it with the crowd and stuff.
Both teams have had some disappointing losses this season, but there's still a lot to play for on both ends. Do you kind of anticipate this being really intense?
Yeah, with their record, they playing for a bowl game, trying to get in the bowl game. So you're going to get they all. So we got to go in with that same mentality of playing hard and playing through the whistle and giving our all each play.
How important is it for you all just to kind of set the tone up front in the trenches at the start of the game?
It's important. It's huge. We lead from the front. It all starts from the front. So for us to have a good game, our offensive line, the big blue wall, got to hone in and start off fast and be able to run the ball, pass the ball, throw the ball, whoever we need to do to win at the end of the day.
I'd imagine it's kind of tough, after I forget what the numbers are right off the top of my head, but it's been a little tough sledding. How do you try to keep everybody positive and moving forward, knowing that there is still plenty of good football you can put on tape these final few games? Yeah,
just taking it one play at a time, honing in for that one play, letting everybody know that this one play matters now. Try to establish that in the huddle before we start running our plays and stuff. Just honing in on one play, getting 1% better on that play that we got right now, and then going on from there.
The communication with y'all and Devin has to be pitch perfect. How have you guys, or how will you guys, as we try to fine tune that in a really loud environment?
I think this season we've been doing a good job of doing what we're doing with well, he talked to us, basically. He talked to us with our cadence and stuff, so just being on the same page with him, we've been doing it already for this long portion of the season, so just doing what we know.
Those roosters stick with you when you go home and lay down and go to sleep? You still hear the roosters and the music?
Yeah, it's pretty catchy, honestly. It's pretty fun. You get into it, you can jam with it too. So I think it's going to be fun for me. So it's my first time being there, so it's going to be an experience.
Obviously, you had a big moment in the game, even though it was a rough game. You're 74 yards, and then you completed 3,000 career yards. Could you just speak to that moment, especially working your way back from the injury?
So as a kid, I always remember kind of watching college football later on in the season and just seeing Alabama play. So to make a play like that against a team like that was a pretty big deal to me. I didn't know about the 3,000 yards, but I was definitely happy after I just had a long journey, whatever. And just obviously practicing from summer to now, finally being able to like get a good little run in and stuff like that, like just weeks and weeks of like practicing hard and stuff like that, it felt good to get out there with my guys and make a play.
Some big games left to be played. Do you feel like you really have a bigger role now carved out?
I just feel like it's, like Ray said earlier, it's always next man up. So whenever your number's called, just be ready and stuff like that. So I feel like that's like the mentality I'm going to have moving forward. And that's the mentality everybody has, especially in the running back room and wide receiver room, etc. So we all just kind of carry that. And whenever your number's called, just make a play.
Does any of Ray or any of the other guys give you a hard time for getting caught?
Oh, yeah, definitely. definitely. But it was, that was a great play, made a great play. Next time I'm going to make the play, but on that play, he made it, so.
I would have been tired after 74 yards, too.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm going to make sure I get that in my bag, man. Just keep training, keep working hard, so the next time I get the opportunity to get a touchdown.
Is that situation a little bit unusual when you coming off an injury and not had a great deal of carries to have that open field in front of you?
Yeah, definitely. And it's kind of crazy because you first build your confidence in practice, you know what I'm saying? So just making those plays in practice and just like, all right, like, one day it's going to happen, you know what I mean? And kind of just keep making the play, keep making the play. And then when you, like I said, like when your opportunity comes and opportunity's there, you got to make the play. So that's what I did.
How do you stay positive through that? You said one day it's going to happen. How do you keep that mentality?
Just the team, people around you, uplifting you, you know what I mean? And it's like even not really so much seeing the field as much, you still got people in practice every time you make a play, good run, coaches uplifting you, stuff like that. Because at that point, it's like if it's not for your team and the people around you, it's pretty hard. So I got a good team around me, so it kept me like uplifting and stuff like that.
The game wasn't going as you had hoped, but your teammates' reaction to that run was pretty special. Did you feel that?
Yeah, definitely, especially as an old dude now, man. So like just having a special bond with people on the team, you know what I'm saying? Even people that might have had their, heads down or whatever at that moment, picked it right up and, tried to celebrate with me and stuff like that. So that was much appreciated, and I do the same for them. So.
Everybody good? All right.